Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back to my channel. And today it's going to be a bit of a mixture. I really want to start making some ephemera for my new autumn journal that I want to start working on. We're just coming into August now. I'm filming this the Monday before you see this video, so I'm still just about in July, but you'll be seeing it and we'll be into August, and I think it's definitely time to start working on the autumn journal. Especially as I'll tell you in a minute, September's going to be a bit crazy. I don't know how much filming I'll get done in September, but I'll come to that in a bit. But first of all, I thought before I started doing that, I wanted to show you just a couple of things. Just at the beginning, not much. I've got a little haul which I wanted to show. I did, in the end, I caved. I bought a few bits from Temu. I've seen a lot of people, I haven't really watched a lot of the videos where people have bought bits from Temu because I was very resistant to the idea of buying stuff from them. But one video tipped me over the edge and I thought, well, I'm just going to give it a try. And I just bought a very, very small amount just to see what they're like and to see if there was anything on there that I hadn't been able to find elsewhere, which was in fact the case. I have bought a few bits that I really like. So I thought I'd show you these first. So say it's a small haul. I only bought a few bits just to try it out. See, came very quickly, as most people have said, within a week. I thought I'd just start off with this pack of stencils because I do like stencils. I have quite a few, but this was a good size, I thought. They're easier to store than some of the 12x12 ones I've got. And of course I can't open it now. I should have got these out, shouldn't I? I'm so sorry. I did see Alison from Crafty Ali Creates with her haul, and she's the one that kind of made me think, oh, maybe they've got some good stuff after all. And I think one of the things she bought was some stencils. I don't know if they were these ones, but these are the ones I saw, so I thought I'd get them and just try them out because I would like to do some more jelly printing, but time is against me at the moment. So yeah, so that one's really pretty, like that. So I think you can see them quite well against the black mat. And there's that one. Yeah, that's lovely too. This will make some really lovely patterns. And also I'm wondering I don't know how to use these in coffee dyeing. I've seen that you can make really pretty patterns with coffee dyeing, but I don't really know how best to use them. And then I've got this one, which is really lovely as well. Oh, they're really nice stencils, actually. They're a little bit, I would say, a little bit on the flimsy side. To my mind, they're a little bit flimsy in comparison to perhaps Tim Holtz or some of the dilutions stencils that I already have. These are a little more flimsy, so I'm hoping they'll work out okay. That's very nice. I guess it depends how you use it. I mean, this is, this got lots of thick bits cut out, and the pieces are quite flappy, so yeah, I'm not sure how that will work, but we'll give it a try. And then there's this one. So I think where there's not so much cutting out, it works better because you haven't got so many flappy bits. Talking of flappy bits, there's a bit sticking out here that's obviously got bent back. Oh no, this must be one of the little cuts, a bit cut out, and it hadn't been properly detached, so that's fine. I thought it was part of a stencil, but not. Okay, so that one. There's quite a few in the pack, so it's quite good value, I think. Can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't a lot. It was like maybe £5, something like that. So there's that one. So I think when they're less intricate, they actually feel a bit more sturdy. And there's this one, which is very nice. And I've actually got a similar one from Tim Holtz recently, but obviously it's a different size and it's a bigger pattern. And then finally, this one. Oh, I love that. That's going to make, some of these are going to make beautiful jelly print patterns, I think. So I'd really quite like to have a go at that at some point soon. If I can find time. I'm really struggling to find time to film at the moment. But I've got a bit of time this morning. So I thought I'd jump in and do something. So show you a few bits and make a start on doing some ephemera. So this is the rest of my little haul. Now these bits, all of these bits, have already been attacked by my granddaughter. I say attacked. She fell on them. She said, I forgot to put them away. And she spotted them. And of course, it's all pretty stuff. She loves pretty stuff. And she said, can I have a bit of that? Can I have a bit of that? Can I have a bit of that? So I've just cut a little bits off everything. And she made a lovely picture for her mummy. In fact, I was introducing her to the idea of collage. She liked that word, collaging. She thought, we're collaging. But her idea of collaging is a little bit different to mine, but she does things her own way, as she always does, and she did actually do a beautiful job. And all of the pieces that I gave her went on this picture, so I was quite happy for her to use them. So I just cut her off little chunks, little piece. So there's this kind of quite dark blue lace. So I reckon I gave her a piece about that big. So not a lot, but she was happy. So I've still got plenty left. And then these lovely rosebud trims that I bought, and I'm wishing now maybe I'd bought some more colours, because I really like them, and you can use, cut bits off, have a little bit. I've seen Tina using very similar things to this, and I really like what she does with them. Just finish off a topper or something, or a page. They're really pretty. So this one is that sort of pinky coral colour that I really love. And then this one is the yellow, and I bought this really because I don't have a lot of yellow. It's not a colour I use a lot. I like yellow, but I've never really been keen on using it in my projects. I don't know why. I didn't in scrapbooking either. I never used yellow in scrapbooking if I could avoid it. I don't really know why that is, because it's a lovely colour, but I don't know. I just didn't use it very much. But I'm thinking with an autumn journal coming up, a bit of yellow would be good, because there's sunflowers and there's lots of yellow as part of the style. So I thought maybe this would be handy to have. There was probably a blue. I wish I'd got a blue and maybe a pink as well. I don't know. I was just a bit cautious about what I ordered, really. And then I got 2 packs of these really pretty butterflies. So the blue ones, so she had 2 of each of these as well. So these, I thought these are quite big. If you can see, they're quite dimensional pearls in the middle. And I just assumed they would be able to be just pulled off, because I thought they might be glued on or, stuck on in some way. But I've seen there's actually like a metal bit at the back, so they may be quite difficult to remove, which is a bit of a shame, because they're very dimensional. And I was hoping I'd be able to just pull them apart and put a smaller flat back pearl in instead, or something else, a crystal or something like that. So I'm a bit disappointed that they are not going to be, I don't think I'm going to be able to get those off, unless anybody can suggest how I might remove them. It looks like it's got a pin the other side holding it in place. So obviously it's very well made, better made than I was expecting, that's the thing. So I don't know how much I'll be able to use those in a journal, just because of how big those pearls are. They might be something I'd need to put on a cover, and of course it won't be suitable for every type of cover. So I've got blue ones and I've got pink ones of those. Then I've got this little pack of, I think there might be, I don't know if they're avocado dyed, but they're, it's in this nice little package. Right, so I can't remember what a lot of these things are called, and of course all the labels, it does say something on here. What does it say? Not a lot, just colour A, made in China. So a lot of the actual description, of course, is in Chinese. So I have no idea what they actually called them on the website. I'd ordered these things quite late at night. I was quite tired, and I don't know, I just kind of had a mad half hour. I decided to place this Temu order. Now when I look back, I think I wish I'd spent a bit more time thinking about what I was getting, and perhaps ordered a few more of the things that I would have liked to have more of, if you see what I mean. But these are really pretty little doilies, and I always find, it's nice to have coloured doilies, delicate colours. I like quite delicate colours, and I don't know if they're all the same. I don't think they are. I think each one is different. They look like they've been dyed, and so there seems to be different designs of doily. So there's two of the ones with the little hearts, and 2 of these, I think. They're really pretty. And then 2 like that. So yeah, these are really, really pretty actually. I think I can definitely use those. It looks like they still need some of their little insert, the bits that have been die cut out, they still need popping out by the looks of it on some of them. So there's 2 of those, and they're all slightly slight variations in the colours, although they're all got a pinkish look to them. They're all different, slightly different, different shades of pink, and they're not flat pink. They're really pretty actually. They've got some little patterns in them. I think there's a sort of leafy pattern in there. So there's that one, and then there's 2 of that one. I say these have got a few more things to pop out. That might take me a little 10 minutes to sit and pop all those out. Oh, that's really pretty. It's got roses on it. Roses and a bit of script on this one. This is really pretty. So these are really lovely. I like these. And there were lots of different colours you could get, but I thought the pinky colours would be quite useful. And that one's quite a pale one. Seems to be only one of those. It might be another one further down. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the other one. Oh, it's got broken. Oh no, it's not broken. It's bent. That's that one. And then a brighter pink. Lots more bits to pop out on that one. It's been that one's a bit better. And then these two, which have got little bits of script on. So they're a really nice little set. I like those very much. And I think I will use those. I've got some other pack of doilies that I ordered a while ago from an Etsy shop, and I haven't used them yet. So I really need to bring out my doilies, because I do love doilies. I just sometimes, you have all these things and you just forget what you've got sometimes. I'm just going to try and brush them out the way. And then I bought this pack. I think this is just little, it says rumoured flower letter. Not quite sure what that means, but I think I ordered the Victorian set. I think there was 2 options, and I ordered one that was called Victorian set. So I'm hoping there's some Victorian images of ladies and things. Oh, it's got a little sleeve, little vellum sleeve. That's really sweet. You could use that and get it off. Right, got it off at last. Thank goodness for the power of editing, that's all I can say. That's all. Oh, I won't let you watch me struggle with getting that off, but isn't that pretty? I love that. I want to keep, because I wanted to keep it, I didn't want to tear it. So that's there. And then it seems to be a pack of papers. I'll just do a little flick through, I think. Oh no, that's the back, of course it is. So that's the front. And they're quite thin papers, but they'll be really handy for decorating. And oh, they're very pretty, and they've got these lovely ladies. Seems to be 2 of each one. So these are gorgeous. Look at these, and all different colours. So they'd be really nice for using for decorating pockets and tags and journal cards things with. You could make a journal card out of something like this. It's really pretty. Or just for for collaging. All sorts of ways this could be used. I don't usually, I haven't really got anything else like this. Well, this even got Christmas ones on it. Merry Christmas. Yeah, these are lovely. So I'm not sure, I can't remember what they were called. That's the trouble with when it comes, it doesn't really have the description that matches what you have in your mind that you ordered. But it is the one I was hoping I was ordering. You can't really see what you're getting in great detail. The pictures are very small, but there's all sorts in here. It's really pretty. Florals and scripty bits. It's really lovely. Look at that. That's really nice. I like that. And I do like vintage ladies. That's really pretty. She's like a 20s outfit there. Gorgeous. So although it says Victorian, I don't know that these are all Victorian outfits that some of these girls are wearing. But they're lovely. Oh, I like that one. That's really nice. Anyway, that is what we've got. That is a really lovely little set. Little booklet, really, isn't it? And all sorts that you can dip into and use. But it's just thin paper. It's nothing... you'd need to back it and everything if you could, but you could make them into individual journal cards. It looks like they're about 4 by 6. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, about 5.5 that way. Yeah, 4 by 5.5 these papers are. So that's fine. I like those very much, and they can be used in so many different ways. This was kind of one of these things that pops up when you're saying, you're on your way, you've gone to your checkout, and would you be interested in this? It was £1. And it's a pen that I think is actually a blade. It looks like a pen. It's got a sort of pen top. Push that down and you've got a little sharp blade there, which might be really good when you're cutting little tiny bits out and say in the middle of a bird or something, and they're sitting on a branch and you've got a little tiny bit to cut out. Let's see how easy it is to use, because that's always my criteria. How easy is something to use? Because it looks like a pen. Holds like a pen. It's quite a thick one as well. So is it easy to use it? Well, I know this paper isn't ideal, but it does seem to work. Perhaps if I as a single piece, it might work better. Yeah, so that's really nice and sharp, works really well. And then you can just get the blade away, which I like that, out of the way. So I might just put that in my pen pot right now. I think that might be quite handy. I thought for £1 it's worth trying. Get rid of that packaging now. And then the last little bit I've got, the last little package, I think the whole lot came to about £17 something. So it's quite a nice little collection of pretty bits and pieces. And I picked up these little pack of stickers. I'm not a big sticker user really, on the whole. I've got some, but I tend to forget I've got them and I don't use them very much. But autumn journal, I'm thinking. This is more yellow, and there's a few autumnal leaves in there. Actually, the packaging is also looks like it could be useful too. It's got the right colours in that packaging in the background, if you see. I'm not going to open it because they'll be everywhere, but you can see them. I mean, it's very obvious what the colours are and what they look like. So I think they'll be quite nice, just little extras to use. There's a whole load of there's even the odd pumpkin in there too. So clearly, it's aimed at autumn decorations. So I think that would be nice to have as well. So I hope to be using that in the near future. Right, so that's my little Temu haul. So as I say, I didn't want to get too much. I was a bit concerned because I did see a few things on there that I thought that looks a bit Tim Holtzy, or looks like it could be a bit of a copy of another make, of a well-known make. So you have to be a little bit conscious of what you're buying, I think. But these sort of things are fairly generic bits of trims and that kind of stuff. And little doilies. I mean, these little die-cut pieces. They're not speaking to me of any particular brand, so I think that was a fairly safe thing to get. I'll put those back in there. I have got more doilies in my box at the front of my desk, so I'm going to pop those in with those. Oh yeah, I've got this little doodad. I'm not quite sure what to do with it, but I really like it, so I'll put it in my little box. I shall redistribute these when I've decided where they've got to go. But I'll keep them all together in that little box for now. The other little thing I was going to show you, I recently saw a video by Tracy Fox where she reorganised all her laces. And I do like organisation, and I like organising my things to make them easier to get at. And for quite a long while, my laces were fine. I had them all wrapped around all these little bits of card, and obviously it's a very cheap thing to do. Cut up your boxes or wrap your laces around it, and it was just piling up, and I had a little basket. I had these little baskets, one for each colour, so I had one for coloured lace, one for white lace, one for cream lace, and it was all right up to a point. I've still got some here to organise. So they were all right up to a point, because I did a very similar thing to what she was showing us, in that they were wrapped around bits of card. But they were all higgledy-piggledy. The more you dipped into them, and my cream one was getting out of control because I just kept adding things and it was piling up. So when I saw her video, I thought, I might have a go at doing what she's done. And it's not hugely different to this, just a bit more better organised. And I'll show you what I've ended up with. So I've got a few more to go, but I had my big box. This is the box I used to use for my scraps. I don't know if you remember, right at the just before I moved, I was going through all my scrap box, and this was it. This was where they all were. That I was trying to get rid of before I moved, and then I threw the rest away. So I thought, well, I'll reuse that because it's a really pretty box. I've just tucked this in because this is how these laces came, and I thought, well, I'm going to leave them on there, and then I'll get rid of it. When they've gone, I won't reuse that. So that's just tucked in at the back. But I can, because of the way they are, I can't even see where it is now, but I have got the lid, and I could put the lid over the top of this if I wanted to. But it means all my laces are now in one box, and they're all sitting on top of my Rascog, right next to my desk. So I've had to reorganise what's on there, but that's fine. I've just moved things around a bit, because I thought having all of my laces on view right next to me means that I know I can dip into them much more easily. I can just pull them out. And I've got one, I've got quite a few narrow ones. I've tried to sort of do them roughly together, so as many narrow ones as I could get onto this card I've put on here. One or two of them, because they're wider, I've got one lace that's the wide lace on this card. And then the coloured ones I've kind of done roughly by colour. Not easy to necessarily keep them all together. Depends on the size, but similar colours together. All the creamier ones, crochet lace, that kind of thing. And then I had a few that I couldn't. I've got this other little basket, which was one of the baskets I was using, with the spools. These are, because this is how I buy the ones from Hobbycraft. They come on these little spools. So I've just put those in here, kept them separately, and this bit of burlap, or whatever you call it. And then I've got a few little scrappy bits as well. So I've got this extra basket, which is fine because I know what's in there. And I can dig at that as well quite easily. But I do love having this right on the top. And as I say, I've got a few left to do. I've got a couple more cards cut. And if you watch Tracy's video, I'll try and link it below this one. If I remember, I will try. She'll show you how to make these. It's just using a punch board, but there's obviously many ways you can do it. I just really liked how you end up with the properly shaped piece, which I struggled with that. I mean, sometimes you get a piece and I managed to cut it roughly to shape, but I didn't really know. I never thought of using the punch board to do it. So there are ways of doing it. But anyway, so I've got these two left and I've got quite a bit more lace, so that might not even be enough, but I'm going to see how many more I can get in. I have got a bit of room still. They do squash up. But yeah, so that's my laces now. I love it. So if you want to rearrange your laces, it takes a bit of time, because you've got to cut your little bits of card and it, winding them all round and stuff. It does take time, but I felt it was so worth it. And I do love a bit of organisation. I'm a bit of an organisation freak. When I can find a nice way to organise things, I'll have a go. Oh. Anyway, so that's that. So I just thought I'd show you those to start off. And I need to get that finished, so I'm going to put that up here ready to do that when I get some time. So next, this is kind of half my video already. I'm sorry about that. So where are we? Okay, this is what I was going to work on next. So these are, I sat one afternoon or one evening, I can't remember, with some book page, and I have this little book of, I suppose it's like an idea book or a prototype book. I put it together ages and ages ago because Pen at the Paper Outpost did a big series on making pockets from book page. So the ones I like the look of, you've seen this one recently. This is one of hers, and I did make it on camera in one of my recent videos to show you how it was made. And this was my original prototype. And what I tend to do is write where it came from, who did it, and then a little description on how to make it. I still have trouble remembering, but so that's in here. So I've got a whole load of these already ready to be decorated, and there's a whole bunch of little different pockets. This is a Gail Agostinelli pocket, and so yeah, a whole load. So I picked out a few that I thought I might just make up, just out of book page. I should put that back in here. Oops, sorry. Oh, it's gone. It's collapsed. So I'll do that after. So I picked out a few that I thought I might just make some more ready to be decorated. So what have I got? I like this one. This is a good one, and I think I've got one ready to be made up and decorated. So we'll do that one today. And what is this? So I just cut them out, but I didn't stick them down or anything because I thought they're easier to decorate before they're glued down. So I don't know which ones these are. I think these are some library pockets I thought I'd make up, some library style. Just made those out of some book page. This is another one. I don't know if I've got here. It's been a while since I did this. I've just had them sitting there ready for me to finish off, but I can't remember what. That's another library pocket. They're all different sizes. What's this? I have no idea what this is. That's always the problem, isn't it? You make these things, you don't finish them off, and you don't know what they were supposed to be. So I might have to come back to those. I won't get an awful lot done today. I've got to figure out what they were all. I'm sure there's there's a perfectly good explanation for what they're meant to be. So let's just start with decorating up, or finishing off this one, because I think this would be a really nice pocket. It's quite a big pocket. I mean, you could make it narrower. I think she did do a smaller version, but this is Paper Outpost. It uses 2 book pages. Well, I'm using quite big book pages because I've got my encyclopedias and they were ideal to use for this, but you could probably do it with smaller ones, just have smaller pockets. But this way you've got quite good deep pockets that you can use. So you need two pieces of paper, so that 2 strips, the same width, of course, and that's the height, the whole height. So so you could make it as big as you want, and you just fold them both up like that. I'm just trying to fold together and... Oh, hang on. I don't think that goes with that. Just a sec. This is about the tubes. This is the one I was trying to figure out what it was. That's these ones. Oh. Okay, so that was these, I think. Should have paper clipped them together. So fold together into tube with landscape orientation. So it's that way. Cut tube in half, makes 4 wide pockets. Oh, right, that's those. Okay. Well, let's see how this worked. Oh, right, okay. So this one, I think, is something different, so I'll come back to that one. I should have really had a good look at this before we started, shouldn't I? So I think that's this one. So you start off with the same pieces. You take 2 book pages. I've got the instructions here. Fold into a tube. So that means you get a... So this is a tube. And you take... And so you have 2 of them. So you have it like that. So that's your page. And you make it into the tube that way. You fold it in the landscape orientation and make a tube and cut it in half. Let me just demonstrate, because this is... I'm confusing myself now. Okay. I was just going to do decorating, but now I've got to remind myself how I actually made these things. So I think what you do is you take your book page. Do it like that. No, it is landscape. You do it like that. Make a tube like that. So you can have it as wide or as narrow as you want. Try to get it all level at the bottom. Right, so you have your tube shape, just folded in, or sort of a tri-folded thing, or it looks like the start of an envelope or something, or like one of those coin envelopes. And you can glue it down at that stage, and then cut it in half, like that. And you have your 2 tubes, and you do this twice, so you end up with 4 tubes like this, which is what we've got here. 4 tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just looking at my instructions, oh no, that's as far as it goes. That is how you start it off. And then you just layer them up. So you just literally glue them like that. So that one is, if I did it like that, you can make it shorter or longer, however you want. So make it a little bit longer. So I'm happy with that. Let's have a look. And so you've potentially got 2 lots of pockets, or you can just glue these 2 bits together to make them a bit more substantial. But you can, so you've got the pocket, where's my ruler? So you've got a pocket, and this is too big, sorry. Use the bone folder. So you've got a pocket in where the tube is, and then you've got another pocket behind. If you want to, that would be 2 pockets. 1, sorry if I can open it, 2. And that's the same all the way up. that might be too much. I'd be half inclined to glue these two bits together, I think, to make a really strong pocket, because you really only need, you've got 4 really, because you've got this behind here as well. So I think that's what I will do. I will just decorate the front of each of these. I think I'm going to glue them down. But in my mind, I think that is too many pockets in one place. So I'm going to glue them shut. Right, so I need to pull in some papers. So I've been doing some printing. So I think what I'd like to do, this is pretty much what Pam would do, is just do some inking and it would be done. I like to have a little bit more decoration on mine. So I have got this piece, which is all I've got left, well, of what I've printed. I can soon reprint it. I do love that. I wonder if I can pair that up with something from the Autumn Wonder kit. Don't know. So I've got some pretty pages here. There's some kind of collaging type of papers. So I don't know if that would go. Or I'll just use some papers from the Autumn Wonder kit for this one. What else have we got in here? Bunch of scraps. Got that piece. Could I use those two together? I'm not sure. So we could use a few scraps up, perhaps. Because I have used this kit before. You may not remember, I used it for my altered book last year. Might have been last year. So I'm just going to pull out a few bits that I can perhaps put together to make up those pockets. Let's see what I've got. Gosh, I've got quite a good selection of scraps under here. Okay, that'll do. Far more than I need, of course. But I just want to find some that might coordinate. And you don't need an awful lot because half the pocket will be hidden anyway. So I wonder about a bit of that. Let's see, a bit of that. I'm just going for sort of a coordinating colour scheme at the moment. A bit of that maybe. And then the bottom pocket could be a bit more decorative, couldn't it? With more of perhaps an image on it or something. If I've got anything in my scraps like that. No, he's going to be too big, unfortunately. Maybe something like that at the bottom would look nice. I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't think the bunny's going to fit. Right. Okay, that might be how I do it. So I think. Right. I'll put my William Morris away for now. I think they're all going to come out for different things, but this one I think we're going to go with this. Right, so let's just try tearing things to size. So I'll put that one there. I think that will be fine. I don't mind a little bit of the book page showing. I just want to, yeah, so I'll now cover it up. That'll be fine. So I've got that one. And then we were going to do this one next, weren't we? Okay, so I'm just going to tear that down. Tear that to size. So I'm not going to worry about going right to the bottom of the pocket. And we've got that. Then we're going with this one. Oops. Oh well. Went its own way, didn't it? Okay, that's that one. And then we'll go with a bit of this, I think. See how far across that can come. I'll just tear it down about there, I think. And across, and then I'll tear it down the other side because I quite like this bit to be in full, like that. So I'm going to tear about there. And then, oh, didn't do that very well actually at the top there. I think it's already, it was pre-torn and not very well. I wonder who did that. And then we'll tear a bit off the bottom. Oh no, we don't. We want this full size, this one, don't we? So about there. Right. And that's that one. Let's see how that looks there. Okay. That's quite a busy pocket, isn't it? I'm not sure about that bottom one. I think I'd rather have that a bit simpler. I might redo it with this piece and repeat that and then have an image on top of that. Otherwise it's a bit too much, I think I've decided. A bit too busy. So I've got a piece left on that. It's about the right width as well. So I'm actually going to tear that instead. I think it looks a little less busy then. And we can then put a nice autumnal image on that pocket. think I prefer that. It's just a little bit less busy. Okay, so I'm going to ink all around these and glue them on, and then come back and we'll put the pocket together. So I'll be right. So those pieces, those pockets are now glued and inked and ready to put together. But before I do that, I want to do my little thumb notches like I've got on here. So I'm going to use this circle punch. It's the smaller circle punch. I don't know whether it doesn't say. I think it's probably half inch. It's probably half-inch one. I have exactly the same one. This is just a straight circle, smooth circle, and this has got a little scalloped edge. And I think that looks quite nice. It's what I've used on here. You can see that little scallopy edge. So I'm going to use that on here as well. And I'm going to try and make sure they're lined up. I don't know if I'll be able to do 2 at a time, but I'm going to give it a try. Now, let's try and get them central. This is going through 4 layers. Or is it 5? Oh, gosh. 5 or 6. I don't know how many layers of paper that was, but I've got 6 layers of paper, so it did work. That's good. And let's try and line up the others to match. That's no good, can't see it. Can't see where one's... It's no good having the same one, is it? In front of the other, because I can't really see where the space, where the circle is. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's just try and line that up. I just want to get it, even if it's not completely central, if it's in a line, it won't notice too much. Let's try and take this one out a little bit, back it up a little bit so I can see it's lined up, but I'm not trying to do that one as well. Sorry. I'm trying to find the best way to do it so that I have them in a line. That's the key, isn't it? Yeah, about there, I think. I hope. Got it. It has to be easy to do 2 together, mustn't it? Even if it takes a bit of effort. So they're not perfectly central, but they're not perfectly central in the same spot. That's the key. And I will just need to ink these little bits that I've cut. Probably should have marked it. But who wants to mess about doing that? It's close enough. Right, so I think what we'll do, I'm going to put my glue, and I'm going to do it about there. So I'll put a spot of glue there, and spot of glue there, what happened here? Oh, no, it's not glue. I thought it was bits of glue dropped, but it wasn't. Oh, do I need to? No, I don't think I need to put it across the bottom, because we don't really want them to be too short, these pockets. Okay. So that one's there. And then the next one. Spot there. Spot there. Little line of glue at the sides. I do want to sew these, so So I'll wait till they're properly dry and then I will sew them. That's it. So you can kind of make them as big as you want by how close you put your pockets together. So I think I've put these together, closer together than this one. So you could give it a completely different look by just spreading them out more. And then I think that one can go there. Just try and line it up, get the glue at the same height. And this time I'm going to, am I? No, I'm not going to glue across the bottom. No, not this one. No, I don't think I need to glue across the bottom at all. I will need to glue it down to the bottom when I glue it onto the page. That will be necessary. Right, let's try and line this up properly. Okay, there we are. And there's our little bolty pocket. So it's actually ended up looking quite different to this one. It started off the same, but I actually thought this seemed quite large to go on a page to me, but it gives you a good idea of what it should, the idea of it. But I think I prefer it to be just a little bit more compact. And we just need to find something to put on here to cheer it up a bit. So, got a variety of bits left over from when I did the previous autumn. It wasn't even last year, I don't think. No, it was the year before. I did the altered book. We'll have to do another one of those, won't I? So I've got that, but that's going to be too big. Wondering about this butterfly, but that might need something behind it. Could I put that behind it? Maybe a bit of book page would be nice behind there, just to bring the book page idea back in. One sec, I'll get my book page scraps. Okay. Got two. No, that's quite. Let's have a look. Get rid of the white on this side. How would that look? Is that too much? Let's see if we've got a little label, a little something. Ooh, what's this here? We've got this, which is might also work. They're too big. Mushrooms. We've got some nice leaves with acorns. Quite like those. And that might work better actually. And I've got any label here. So down. Something like that. Yeah, that might be better. It might indeed be better. Ooh, this looks like a piece that's been made into a journal card. It's been backed. I need to keep that out really, don't I? Because that's a finished piece that can go as a journal card. Okay. I'm going to have to do a bit of inking, so I will again not make you watch me do that, and I'll be right back. Right, so I've just inked around those, tidied up a few little bits of my rather dodgy fussy cutting, so that looks fine, and inked around the other bits. I'm just going to glue them on now, so I think I'm going to put this piece on first. Okay, so that can go not totally central, just slightly over that way, I think. Then the label on next. Okay, like that. And then, yeah, acorns and leaves go like that. Yeah, happy with that. So as I mentioned, we have got a very busy week ahead. And this afternoon it's quite exciting, we're going to go and sign on the dotted line for our kitchen and bathroom renovations, which are going to start in the middle of September. We've been working on this since we got here, really. Trying to get this in place, finding the right builder, getting the plans and all of that. It just takes such a lot of time. Even when you found the couple of builders who you think would be good to do the job, getting the complete quotes. The quote seems to come in drips and drabs because they get different people to do different bits of jobs. So we finally got it over the line with this company, who are actually mainly a kitchen company, but they will do our building work. We've got a couple of walls that need knocking down and things like that, so they're going to do all of that. But this was the kitchen we really wanted. It's a lovely kitchen, and I spent a lot of time with them last week, finalising the details of the kitchen, really fine-tuning it, getting everything we want down to the nitty-gritty, and yeah, now we're all ready to go. And I'm very excited because it's now, well, just at the end of July and the middle of September. It's all systems go, so it's going to be great. And it's just about the same time as our little grandson is due, so it's going to be very busy in September, which is why I may find it difficult to film. Not because I won't have time, but I think it might be quite noisy in the house. There's going to be lots of banging and all sorts of work going on. They're knocking down walls and things, so it just may be too noisy to film for a couple of weeks, or even longer maybe. So I'll get as many videos done as I can leading up to that, and then I might just have to work on my own on the stuff while the work's going on, and then show you what I've done afterwards. Don't know how it's going to go, but that might be September. In the meantime, I'm going to get as far ahead as I can with this journal, keep making videos, keep trying to put it together. It's going to be a simple one signature journal, this one. Because by the time I'm back in my craft room and filming again, it could be almost Christmas. Well, we might start preparing Christmas journals and stuff, so that might be the next thing I do, or I might start working on another journal, who knows. So anyway, I thought I'd get started nice and early on this one. It's quite unusual for me to be ahead of things. And I was just looking at these little set of labels, and I just wondered if maybe one could go up there. Yes, and we've just had a very busy weekend because it's now the school holidays, so we're having Alyssa at least once a week, and we had her overnight. We had her all day Friday, overnight Friday night, and then we took her home Saturday afternoon. And then we were back at their house yesterday, which was Sunday, for Hannah's baby shower, because my eldest daughter Jenny her and her partner, fiance, should I say, were hosting it for her. So Well, it's for her and George because they were both very much involved, and it was their friends, not just the girls. It was all the couples. It was all couples. And it was a really lovely afternoon. Unfortunately, the weather let us down. It was chucking it down with rain most of the time because they'd hoped to go out in the garden for part of it, but that wasn't to be. So and it wasn't a huge number of people. There's probably about 25 people, so it wasn't enormous, but they really enjoyed it. We were able to go over. When we took Alyssa home, we helped with getting some of the decorations up. Jenny had gone to a lot of trouble getting lots of decorations. I also had bought some, and between us we got the place thoroughly decorated. And I had my nappy cake, which I'd made at Craft Club a couple of weeks ago, and that went down quite well. Nappy cake, diaper cake, if that's if you know, you use the word diapers, we use the word nappies. They're all the same thing. But yeah, I'd made one. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I did. That I'd made this nappy cake with some help from one of the ladies at Craft Club, and that was a hit. And Jenny had made the most beautiful cake, proper cake. That's what she does, and she's very good at it. So she had made a lovely cake for them, and they had some lovely gifts, and it was just a really nice day. They really enjoyed it. Although Hannah was pretty tired by the end, bless her. She'd been on her feet a lot, and she has a very big bump there. She's it's beginning to really make himself felt, that young fella. Right, so I think that's fine there. I like that, just finishing that off up the top there. We now have our first, well, it probably isn't our first pocket because I've been making a few things from Roxy's Weekly Challenge. So in the next video, I'll start to pull together what we've got already made, see what I have, work on a few more of these book page pockets and just see where we go from there. So thank you for joining me. This is a bit of a mixture of a video really, but sometimes that's how it goes when you're between journals and just starting to work your way into a new project. Sometimes that's how it goes, but we'll get ourselves into this autumn project. I love this pocket actually. I'm really pleased how that turned out. So there we go. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.